first saw this property, it felt like Scotland, and it's another world. It's a project that was so special to me because the clients and the family that I'm working with are old friends, and this was something they'd been looking for years, found this magic spot, and they're actually living here now. This was, until the 1960s, an active running mill, a grist mill. And if one family bought it and converted it into their weekend home and had it until 2 years ago when our clients took over. And the task was to make a 1960s family house into a vibrant 21st century house full of light and bright colors and fantastic fabrics. We were really lucky with this property because there are a lot of outdoor seating areas, and if you're going to be in the country in this place, you want to be sitting outside. So for instance, we created this seating area right here. We just plunked incredible furniture, great carpet, and some interesting Moroccan lighting. What was important here was a lot of outdoor seating areas, comfortable, integrating with the incredible view and the colors of nature. So we created several different seating areas, including a dining area that looks out onto the trout stream. And in the spring, trout are literally jumping upriver, upstream, up under a bridge. And the peacocks are by the river. And every time you hear a squawk, which you will, it's a peacock. And there are dozens of different varieties of chickens here. And every time you come, there's a different kind of Dr. Dolittle thing going on here. But it really is a place that's all about being outside as much as possible, all year round. When you first walk into the front hall, we started with the ground up. We started with one of my carpets called Madrid, which is based on Spanish tiles. And around it we put French antiques against the wall. We put giant mirrors to bring light in. We go up a few steps into a Hermes orange suede walled library where we put a Coco Chanel sofa and a giant fantastic leather footstool made by David Lindley, a crazy bar made out of a ship, crystal decanters, sparkly in the glow of the fire. It's one of the nicest rooms I've ever sat in my life. Opposite the library is the living room, dining room, which has huge French doors out to the most incredible views out to the river. And it's all greens and blues and stone colors, so we decided to incorporate that into the giant deep sofa we created with stony slate blues and greens, and then we used crystally, brassy, shiny chandeliers in the dining room to pick up all the natural light we could. So again, an incredible room to sit in that you never want to leave. The family room upstairs, where the TV room is, cozy, comfy leather sofa, we named the tartan room. And we had a vision that this room should be clad in the family tartan that was not available anywhere in Toronto. So Tanner, who works with me, decided to track down a mill in Scotland that said absolutely no way they could possibly make, I think it was 70 yards of the family's tartan in 2 months. But that tartan eventually made it in less time than that onto the container that was shipped from England, was put up on the walls. We then realized the house was entirely crooked. You don't see that until you're trying to fit the tartan on the walls in the room with the slanty floors. But it looks beautiful now. You dream of being in a Scottish castle with a leather sofa and wolf pillows and a stag head on the wall. Again, another room that nobody wants to leave. The guest room we call the Paisley room, and the beauty of doing a mill is that the ceilings are sky high. So to use large-scale wallpaper is so fun. We found a gigantic, I think the repeat is 18-inch Paisley wallpaper in gray and white, and stuck in the middle of this room a huge 4-poster gold bed. We decided to jazz it up with huge, large-scale floral pillows. Perfect place to spend a couple of nights as a guest. The top floor are the 2 kids' rooms, 2 boys, 2 girls, all tidy, lots of bunks, lots of space for lots of cousins. In the boys' room, we made some bunk beds. We found an antique world map wallpaper. It's the top of the mill, so there's a lot of exposed wood, which is really great to see the beams and have a whole historical feeling. So we've used old flags. We used a Union Jack on the floor to create a colonial feel. The girls' room was sort of an incorporation of lots of things that I'd had in my mind of doing the perfect girls' room. And we made it a little bit Moroccan, a whole lot bright pink, lots of orange, and we had an amazing muralist who created this beautiful, large-scale mural that was from little tiny things we'd torn out of magazines, we've saved forever in a file, and this was the moment to do so many things that I'd always wanted to in a girl's room. We very cleverly created a kids' haven so nobody ever sees the children. All the 4 kids are up there with all their cousins, all their friends, never come down. In the master bedroom is another example of where we had things being made halfway across the world. An English 4-poster bed with mattresses that were woven in Cornwall, put on the container, on a boat, and here in time for Christmas. Our clients bought the 365-acre mill in September, but weren't allowed to have possession until December. So the scope and the intensity and the short time frame made this a really incredibly challenging job. On the 9th of December, we had trucks pull in with 45 tradesmen for 10 days, wallpapering, woodworking, carpentry, painting, plumbing, electrics, in a sea of mud, constant rain. I can't believe we did it. And probably the most fun I've ever had in my entire life.